Are you actually healing your body, or are you just being symptom managed? So hi, I'm Megan. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner and functional blood chemistry specialist, among a few other things. And this is a real issue in the Western medicine space for sure, but even in the holistic health space of not actually focusing on healing big root causes of the body and really focusing on symptom management. And this was my personal experience for many years in the holistic health space, working with a variety of different types of practitioners. And we see this so often in our practice of people coming to us and, they've worked with other practitioners, they've worked with naturopaths, they've worked with, other people in the space, and they're still having issues here. And this is such a big issue, I think, in this space. And, I think the bigger question is like, okay, well, how do you know if you're just being symptom managed, or are you actually healing the root causes? And, if you were working with someone who uses the same protocols for everyone, you might be being symptom managed. If they're running a bunch of labs, whether that's blood work and or functional labs, and they're trying to put you on supplements for every little thing that pops up, every little nutrient deficiency, every piece of the adrenal and thyroid and hormones and gut and liver, and you're probably being symptom managed, and if you ask your practitioner, the question that we always ask, if we see, let's say, sex hormone imbalances, cortisol issues, thyroid dysfunction, cognitive issues, gut issues, the bigger question that we always ask is how and why did we end up here in the first place? And it's not a simple answer. It's usually not just one thing. It's usually several things. And it's like bigger picture, what is going on, and how do we kind of like look at this bigger picture and slowly work in here. So let's take sex hormones, for instance. Like, let's say you're a menstruating female. Let's say you have something like a PCOS type issue. If we look at PCOS, oftentimes we're looking at testosterone and or androgen overload. So the liver is going to play a really big role here. Okay, so why is the body producing this much? Second question, how and why is the body not getting all of this stuff out? Because the body has systems in place to be able to do this. And so if we kind of like break that down and kind of look at the bigger layer here, oftentimes, specifically with PCOS, we'll often find toxin overload issues, whether that's mold, heavy metals, and or environmental toxins. And then we'll also usually see parasite overgrowth issues. And if we just look at, all right, PCOS, let's look at blood sugar, let's balance out, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, let's balance out these androgens, let's balance the blood sugar, let's, do all these things. Yeah, it might help. And once again, like, the bigger question is how and why is this happening in the first place? What is overburning the liver that the body's not able to get that stuff out of the body? What about the nervous system? What about cortisol? What about, all of these things really come into play here. So if you want to learn more about this, follow along, like this video, follow along. We also have a podcast episode that we put out just a couple weeks ago that dives deep into this topic. So be sure, there's a link in our bio if you go to the link in our bio, or if you just search on any major streaming platform for podcasting, Trifecta Collective Finding the Root, you can find our podcast on there and have a listen. As always, if you need additional support in actually healing and identifying your root causes, book a free consult with us. There's a link.